mess in the background. Okay, I did forget to grab something, so I'm gonna have to go grab it real quick. Sorry about that. So, something exciting did come in today. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you guys already seen me do a video for these right here. So, these are my poetry books. Just trying to get this arranged. Okay. Cats, chickens. Just a whole bunch of good stuff. One, this is volume 2, Teenager, which is about my middle grade school days and my high school days. So that's why I named it Teenager. So I had a lot of fun doing this one. That's volume 3, I think. Volume 2. So this one's volume 2. And this is volume 3. This one is called Love Myself. And I had a lot of fun putting that one together. I felt like this one was like a therapy for me, because I'm sure a lot of us have a hard time like accepting ourselves, loving ourselves and whatnot. So this one was a lot of fun to do. I did a picture of a girl, and then I did the like love yourself, and then there's another one right there. Oh, and here's another one, honor yourself. So I had a lot of fun putting this together. So there's a few people at church that said that they could relate, so there's that one. And then this one my church is also excited. This one is called Warriors. So, personality and goals. We are warriors on the battlefield in the dark days. We will fight back that fear. If you don't, it will burn you out, tear you down emotionally and physically. God did not give us the spirit of weakness and fear. He gave us the spirit of power and love. Warriors we are. So that's basically the poem. I have a hard time explaining myself to people, so I think my camera's tipped a little bit here. There we go. Maybe that's better. I don't know. Anyways, so Warriors, I know what it is. I just have a hard time explaining it. So anyways, so then the other exciting book that came in that I am just so excited about. Oh my gosh. Oh. I did a live unboxing earlier today. I didn't know when it was going to come in, so I had to wait, and then I did the live unboxing. So I am officially done with the Keeper of Soul series. And now I'm doing a new series called the Sword of Realm series. And this right here came in today. And I'm in love with this cover. I love it, love it. It took me a while. So the reason for this and that and that and that. So I put those on the front cover because there's a reason for it. And we have these, which are, I don't know what those are. I just thought it would be cool to just put a design on the front cover. And then we have these gemstones, which these play out a lot through the book. And the ring that Trixie has is really important in the book. But I couldn't find a ring that was close enough to the design in my head. And I didn't have anywhere to put it on here. So and then here's the sword, of course. And I couldn't find a sword to have gemstones at the top because that's what it is. That's what it looks like. And then this is the back. And I think this font here may be a little too big, maybe. I don't know. I think the reason why I made it so big was because Amazon kept telling me that the font that I chose wasn't working. I needed to choose a different font. So I was just like, okay, well, I guess I'll just do this. It is a little big, I think. But anyways, so this is the front, and then this is the back. Maybe if I do it like this. There. That's what it'll look like. Like that. So this is the inside of the book. This is what the font looks like. It is spaced apart from each other a little bit. So when you first open the book, this is what you'll see. Just that. And there's enough room for me to like write your name and autograph it. And then we just have my thank yous. So I have to read this real quick. My thank yous. I want to give my first thank you to my girls at the flower shop. Thank you so much for always listening and putting up with my loud, active voice, even when I can be too hyper and annoying. I love you, girls. I also want to thank my church for being kind-hearted and sweet. Thank you all for listening to my crazy, wild ideas. I love you all. That is true. I do go to church and I tell them like, oh my gosh, I have this crazy idea. And so that's my thank you letter. And then this right here is just like, I don't know, just information. It's just like this is a work of fiction, characters, places, businesses, or whatever. So you turn the page and then you have this right there. It just says also by Ashley-Bell. I have all the titles of the Keeper of Soul series. The Wish, Awakened Evil, Wicked Curse, and Mystical. And then a poetry collection. I have Home, Teenager, Love Myself, and Warriors. So I think what I'm going to have to do here, since this is a proof copy, I can edit it. I can write in it or highlight it as much as I want because this is proof. Like, it's not for sale, obviously. So anyways, and then down here, poetry collection, I'm going to, like, beside Home, I'm going to say Home, Volume 1, Teenager, Volume 2, 3, and 4, next to these. So, I think that's what I'll probably do. So, then you turn the page, and that's when the story starts. Right here, Chapter 1. I just can't wait to start editing this and start working on it. But I just wanted to show you guys this. So, this live reading is actually going to be the reading of chapter 12 and 13 because I'm doing chapter 13 too because this weekend is my birthday and I might have plans Friday night. I'm not really sure. So, anyways. So, this is what I really wanted. I just really wanted to show you guys these. So, anyways, so here I'm going to be reading chapter 12 and 13. So, ooh, good Lord. So, anyways. So, in the last chapter, Olivia wakes up in the middle of the room and she has no idea what is going on. So, okay. So this is chapter 12. Within a short time of dozing off, strange noises like claws raking across the floor came from nearby. A few seconds of listening to it, a deep, violent snarl startled her. She kept her eyes closed and both legs close to her chest. Maybe it was the house creaking, but that couldn't be. It never had before. Even if it did, it surely wouldn't sound like claws against wood. She opened her eyes, pressed her lips together, then slowly sat up in bed. She scanned the room but saw nothing, except the moonlight that extended through the double porch doors. Maybe the TV was on, or there was an animal running from a car across the street. It couldn't be since it was too early in the morning and quiet outside. If it wasn't either of those, then where did the noise come from? The room became dead quiet. There wasn't even the sound of the wind outside the porch doors. She waited. She peered down at the end of the bed where the moonlight slanted in through the window. A hand with long, sharp claws gripped the bed rail. Not again. Did that thing from the woods follow me home? Once it crawled over the rail towards her, she knew it was the creature she had seen in the woods. She shook her head in denial. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. Tears streamed down her cheeks. It gripped her ankle and yanked her across the bed. She turned on her front and reached for the headboard, but then was flipped onto her back by an unknown force. The hissing and growling noises grew closer, as if it was right there by her ear. She leaned up on both elbows. A blanket of heaviness pressed against her body and shoulders, pushing her against the bed. She gripped the sheets tighter to cope with the pain, but both her arms and legs grew numb to the extent of not being able to move them. The creature inched closer to her face as she laid there frozen and trembling in fear. 3 long claw marks went from its forehead to its jawline, its eyes red as blood. She wanted to close her eyes, but she was too scared to look away. She wanted to scream, but she couldn't. She wanted to get up and run, but too afraid to. Don't hurt me, please. Please don't hurt me. The creature crept closer and closer. Each second seemed forever. Light flooded the room. The heaviness lifted off her body, and finally she inhaled that first breath. She clutched at her throat, then leaned over the edge of the bed and coughed. Her mom ran over to the bed. "Olivia, what's wrong?" She fell back to the pillow and breathed heavily. Her mom placed a hand to her forehead. The fast pace in her chest thudded as she rehearsed what just happened, then peeked at the floor. "Mom, did you see it? Did you see it?" Her mom's brows wrinkled. "See what?" She gazed around the room, then back at Olivia. "I don't see anything, Olivia. What are you talking about?" She held Olivia's hand so they stopped shaking. "Oh, honey, you're sweating. I'll open the window." She rushed over to the window by the French doors and opened it all the way, then sat back down next to Olivia. "Something's wrong with the house." Her mom held on to her hands. "It's okay, Olivia. It was just a dream." "No, it wasn't," she yelled. "It was real." Her mom's eyes widened. "Olivia, if you want to sleep in my room, just ask." Olivia sat up and looked at her. "But Mom, you're not getting out of doing your schoolwork tomorrow. And we still have to finish your college papers. So don't even go there with me." "I'm not trying to. Something was in my room. I swear it." Olivia didn't understand why her mom didn't believe her. She would have to see it to believe it. Typical mom. Why did I even bother saying anything? Maybe Mom thought I just wanted to be heard because Grandpa was gone and have nobody else to go to. "Mom, I'm telling you the truth," she yelled. "Don't you believe me?" Her mom stood up from the bed. "We'll talk about this in the morning." Olivia had waited for the right answer but received the wrong one. She grabbed her mom's hand. "Mom, please don't leave me." Her mom sat back down and moved her hair behind her ear. "Olivia, there's nothing in here. Look." Olivia peered. If it wasn't them, then what were the shadows in her room last night? Where did they come from? How did they know her name? "Olivia," her mom knocked on the door. Olivia's stomach sank and her heart skipped a beat. She slammed the laptop shut and turned around in her chair just as the door opened. Her mom paused and stepped in. "What are you doing?" she asked, one hand on her hip, the other on the doorknob. Olivia was speechless, then smiled. "I was just looking for my books." Her mom gazed past her, then back at Olivia and pointed. "They're right there, Olivia. By your laptop. You always leave them there, you know that." She avoided eye contact and turned around in the chair. Downstairs in 5 minutes. After her mom left, Olivia sat there and wondered if the shadows she saw were really shadow people. If not, then what were they? She leaned forward, placed her fingers on the keys, and released a breath. Well, there was another solution. They turned into creatures. She typed in shadow creatures and clicked search. She waited and rubbed her hands together. Please let this be it, please. There were images of dark figures. Sadly, they looked nothing like the shadows she had seen. Am I ever going to figure this out? She closed the laptop, gathered all the books, and then went downstairs. The image of the shadow creature still remained deep in her thoughts. She had to figure it out somehow. There had to be a reason for it. But what? She stopped at the last step and peeked around the corner. Her mom had a hand placed on her cheek. Olivia didn't mean to smack her. She was just mad and needed to let the anger out. She stepped into the kitchen. Her mom moved her hand from her cheek and took a drink from her coffee while holding the newspaper in the other hand. She lifted her head and smiled. Good morning. Olivia chuckled and shook her head. Her mom always acted like everything was fine, even when it wasn't. Olivia didn't answer but pulled the chair back, then flopped down on it. This wasn't a day she wanted to encounter. Her life was messed up and Grandpa was dead again. Shadows that turned into creatures almost killed her last night. What would happen next? She opened her books where she had marked them last night. Olivia didn't know what to say to her mom because she didn't believe what had happened to her last night. She didn't make eye contact and opened her book. What are you doing? No. Batman. No. Are you okay? Her mom asked. Olivia paused, then gazed up at her. Do I look okay? She placed a hand to the side of her head and sighed. Tell me what happened. I did, remember? You didn't believe me. Her mom touched her shoulder, then slid her hair behind her ear. She lifted her head so both were staring at each other. I'm sorry, Olivia. She glared back at her. Are you, Mom? Her mom's eyebrows wrinkled and removed her hand from her face. Olivia shook her head and rubbed her eyes. I'm sorry. I just couldn't sleep last night. She opened her notebook and wrote her name at the top of the page, then the date. She already knew her mom felt bad for not believing her last night. Oh my gosh, there's cat hair all over. Oh. Whew, that's what happens when you have a cat. Oh, my goodness. If her mom loved her as much as she said she did, then she would have believed her from the start. Parents needed to believe their kids in any situation, but they didn't have the time. Her mom picked up the coffee mug and took a drink, then set it back down. Are you mad at me? Olivia paused. She wanted to say yes. Shadows attacked me and you didn't believe. Okay. Yes, shadows turned into creatures and tried to kill me, and you wouldn't even believe me, Mom. But instead, Olivia shook her head. No, she continued to write. Her mom slid closer to her and closed the notebook. Listen to me, Olivia. Olivia dropped her pencil and sat back in the chair, then crossed both arms. I'm really sorry for not believing you. I'm really sorry for not listening to you or believing you last night. But what am I supposed to say when my daughter says shadows attacked her? You believe her, Mom. Why would I lie about it? I have no reason to lie. her mom, okay, and you know that. Why would I lie? Why do you think I would lie? To get attention? Olivia glared at her. Because your favorite person and best friend in the world, in the whole entire world, just died? Olivia shook her head. I still wouldn't lie to get attention. I never have before. You never acted like this until he died, Olivia. I'm trying to apologize to you. Olivia wouldn't even look her in the eye. She felt hurt and angry. Her mom touched her shoulder. Please, Olivia, I'm listening. Just tell me. Olivia stared at her. I already told you what happened, and you didn't believe me. Why should I repeat myself to you? I want to know. You would have if you let me explain. I'm listening now. Olivia sat up in the chair, placed both hands across her notebook, and paused. Her mom rubbed her back and shoulders. Just tell me. I'll listen. Olivia took a deep breath in and let it out. I heard scraping noises on the floor and walls. It flashed through her mind like an instant replay. The bone-chilling hissing and her own high-pitched screams echoed her mind. I heard hissing and growling, she explained. The thought made her skin crawl. I was wide awake, Mom. I could still hear it. I didn't know where it was coming from. I thought maybe from outside, but then realized it was coming from inside the room, close by me. I could hear it, clear as day, but I couldn't see what was making the noises. Her mom smoothed Olivia's hair out over her shoulder. Are you sure it wasn't just a nightmare? She slammed her fist down on the notebook. I'm sure, she yelled. Olivia's mom's eyes widened and she leaned back in the chair. I'm not making it up, Mother. I know what I saw and I know what I heard. It wouldn't stop. You weren't there. That's why you don't believe me. She held both hands to her face in frustration. Why is this all happening to me and not my mom? Why just only me? Her mom rubbed her shoulder. It's okay. Olivia gazed up at her. You can't say that, Mom. Her mom's eyebrows creased. Why not? Because it's not going to be okay. Olivia heard the dryer go off. The clothes are done. She looked down at her papers and began to write a paragraph. Her mom fell silent, then got up from the chair and left the kitchen. Boom! That is chapter 11 and chapter 12, I do believe. No, wait, that was chapter 13. Never mind. Okay, holy crap, we have a lot to talk about. I hope to God and pray that I don't ever wake up in the middle of the night. Oh, shit. Oops. I hope to God I don't wake up in the middle of the night and ever, see a black shadow. Years and years and years ago, so the idea of the black shadow came from two things. When I was a kid, my dad was still alive, and I think my grandpa was still alive, I think. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I saw this real tall black shadow thing standing in my doorway. And I was sharing a room with my sister at the time, and it scared me so bad that I jumped out of my bed and I leaped into my sister's bed. And for weeks at a time, I was too afraid to sleep in my own bed. I'd rather just slept in my sister's bed with her. And then I have a friend that is also a writer, and she told me that she had a friend that could see evil spirits. And my friend told me that her friend years ago, she said she had woke up in the middle of the night and she saw black shadows crawling up the staircase. So that part, I took that and I used it in the book. So the black shadows things I've always been I've always been interested in like writing about that and whatnot. And I think I would be a little frustrated too if something like this happened to me and my mom didn't believe me. But I think if I would have told my mom, I think she would have believed me, because after my dad had passed away, it wasn't just me or my sister. I mean, my mom had saw a few things after he had passed away. I think after my dad had passed away, I became more interested in the paranormal. I did not want to see any ghosts, demon shadows, whatever you want to call them. I would be terrified. So, writing this part where Olivia was attacked, I actually had to write that. I had to make it up because it's never happened to me before. I have seen shadows, like shadow people before. Batman's fighting with Spook. Kitty, 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 kitty. But anyways, so that chapter was fun to write. And then the other chapter was a little challenging because I'm like, how would a parent react if their child or their teenager, someone came to them and said, oh, there were black shadows in my room and they attacked me? If I wasn't into the paranormal and whatnot, I think I probably would have believed them. So I think that part was just really hard for me to write. So I was just like, okay, I'll just go with the flow, I guess. So anyways, that is it for this reading. The next reading is chapter 13. Okay, so chapter 14, I will read that on Okay, I gotta bring up my calendar. My planner is over there and I do not want to get it up and get it. So this Friday, I'm not reading a live reading because it's my weekend birthday and I might be busy Friday night. I don't know. Let's see. So the next reading I will be doing will be June 9th is the next live reading that I will be doing. So June 9th, June 9th, I will be doing that at 4 o'clock because, kids are out of school now. So, and then my coffee chat, the next coffee chat will be June 8th at 9 o'clock. It was at 7 in the morning because the kids would get up around that time and get dressed and whatnot. Well, now it's going to be at 9 o'clock. So, anyways, I'm really excited to start editing this, and I am going to definitely be doing an editing vlog on this. So, these books are available now. You can order them on Amazon. You can do it in Kindle, or you can do it through print. So, but this book isn't available yet because I have to edit it. So, anyways, thank you all so much for watching. And hello, Jessica. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry I was dragging on and talking and stuff. And yeah, I won't do that again. I think I'm just gonna have to just get to the reading. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next live stream. I hope you all have a good week and a good weekend. So, bye. God bless. Batman, do you want to say bye? No? Okay. Well, he's clearing the other room, so have a good week, guys. Bye.